And honestly, Kata ate that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lily. This is Lily's Shelf, and today we are talking about Love Island USA season 8 episodes 4 and 5. Let's get right on into it, y'all. So we pick up where we left off. Sincere is confused and he's talking to Bryce and Sean, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think these two were the right ones to debrief with. I do feel like in this conversation Sincere is kind of missing the point that Melanie's main issue was the fact that he pulled Kata for a chat, but he didn't tell Melanie that he was open from the jump. You know what I'm saying? So Anaya is my favorite. Between Trinity and Anaya, I'm really loving my girl. I just love the way that she talks in her confessional. She's just funny. She is. So I don't like the fact that Bea is waiting for Kenzie to pull her for a chat regarding this whole Gabe situation, because like, girl, you're the one with the problem. You need to be pulling her, not the other way around, because Kenzie is single and needing to mingle so that she can stay in the villa. So if you have a problem with how she's moving, you should be pulling her for a chat. So she finally pulls Gabe for a chat, which again, if you have a problem with Kenzie, why are you not pulling Kenzie first? But whatever. She's asking if he likes her personality, and he's like, yeah, I do. Oh, Bea, don't tell me you actually like this man. The man who gets excited, who has gotten excited about like pretty much all the girls in this villa. He is just here for a good time, not a long time. But I feel like my girl is getting in deep. Oh, she is in trouble. But Gabe does say he likes Kenzie. She is his type, but she's scaring him off a little bit with the way that she's acting. But also the crazy eye contact that Gabe will give these people. I thought he and Kenzie were vibing, but maybe not. So Melanie and Anaya debrief. Melanie's getting on my nerves pretending to forget Kata's name. Stop it. This isn't middle school. This isn't kindergarten. Let's not do these sandbox games, okay? I don't know, like, I just don't understand why she can't just admit to Sincere, not to anybody else, because her connection is with Sincere, and I'm getting tired of these people talking to everybody but their connections and getting vulnerable with everybody but their connections and then being confused on why your connection is in jeopardy. But whatever, I feel like she just needs to be vulnerable with Sincere and just tell him up front what it was that bothered her, and then be receptive to what he has to say in response. So at night, Sean sneaks over to Kenzie's bed and steals a kiss. That kiss was steamy. Sean's not giving us a lot besides these secret steamy kisses and breakfast. It's the morning now. Melanie pulls Casey for a chat. Low-key, Anaya doesn't like that, which, I get it. Melanie thinks that his tattoo said surprise. Low-key, the way that he turned, it did kind of look like it was the beginning of surprise. But the way he looked when she said that just cracked me up. It did. I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of chemistry between some of these different pairings. I feel like right now everybody's coupled up with the person that they have the most chemistry with, besides Trinity. Even though I do feel like Melanie and Casey had a decent chat. I like Anaya and Casey together, but I feel like overall it's starting to give Miscommunication Island a little bit, because Anaya is upset that Casey was not open about who he wants to chat with, which I agree. I can understand that. And I feel like, why are these people not doing that? It's simple to just pull your partner and be like, look, I like you, I'm feeling you, but I'm also open to others in the villa. I'm also open to any bombshells we get later. Like, we're cool, but it's early. And they're pretending like they're closed off, and then they start pulling these other people for chats, or start being open and receptive to chats with other people, and it's leaving their partners reeling, and I just don't understand. I just want the girls, honestly, to stop locking it in so early with these guys and also start exploring, because clearly the guys are not pulling these girls for chats. The girls are gonna have to pull them, which is So we get another game. The color combos are actually really cute. The point of the game was basically excuses to make out with your partner and other people. So Anaya goes first. She makes out with Sean. I love their kiss. Which is why I'm not understanding why Sean won't pull this girl for a chat. The first one to get slimed is KC. The girls then meet the bombshell, which is Corbin in a hidden room. I really like this surprise twist. When Anaya finishes and she goes back out to kiss KC, I feel like KC did a lot, but as he should, because I feel like he wanted to remind Anaya, girl, don't forget, you got something good going on right here. Bea is next. She kisses Sincere. I feel like they were doing a lot. Trinity goes next. She also kissed Sean. Again, their kiss was good. Again, I want Sean to pull these girls for chats. The chemistry is there. So everybody's kissing the bombshell. I'm kind of skipping that part because they all have to kiss Corbin. Melanie goes next. She teases the guys, but she picks KC and is kissing him. And Anaya low-key is bothered by this. I feel like Anaya is really starting to like KC. I do. But I do want to point out Melanie, she was being kind of petty and a little shady when it was her turn, because part of the challenge is to slime some people. So she picks Kata to get slimed. She says it's all love, but you could tell she was being passive aggressive a little bit. And so Kata's like, nah, you can keep that fake love over there. So when it's Kata's turn, Kata ends up getting her lick back, but I'm jumping ahead, so let's move on. Kenzie goes next. Kenzie low-key had the best performance. She was really giving it her all. Some people will say later that they didn't like how Kenzie kind of paid Zach dust, but like, she didn't have to give Zach anything. He gave her nothing the whole time. So why is it a problem that Kenzie's not giving him much of anything? I don't understand that. But yeah, I really liked how she played this challenge. It was good. Kata is the final girl to go. Again, she kisses Sincere and then she slimes, or no, she picks Sincere to get slimed, but she was basically throwing shade at Melanie while she was doing so, because the question was, who do you think should have an upgrade from their couple? And so she says Sincere should be upgraded away from Melanie. Melanie did not like that, but Kata was letting her know, look, if you want to go low, I will go lower. And honestly, Kata ate that. The challenges are over. Everybody is back in the villa. Melanie does ask Kata like what that whole situation was about upgrading Sincere out of his couple, and Kata lets her know that like, look, regardless of what the question was, I was going to be coming after you because you came after me first. Melanie respects that. You can also tell that she backed down pretty quick, because one thing about Kata, she said don't mess with me. But I also like that Melanie backed down because she was the one who started it. But also the way that Sincere was talking about in his confessional how the kiss with Kata was so hot, if the challenge and stuff wasn't over, they would still be kissing. Melanie girl, you in danger. So Sean thinks Kenzie is emotionally immature because of the way that she kind of paid Zach dust during the challenge. And I thought that was interesting, because when Zach tried to pull Kenzie for a chat in the episodes before, Sean had no problem with her paying him dust in. Bea and Kenzie finally talk. At first, I wasn't sure how this conversation was going to go. I think it went really well though, because Bea did ask for, kind of clarity on why Kenzie pulled Gabe, and Kenzie was just kind of letting her know like, hey, I did not think of anybody else but myself in these moments because I am single and vulnerable. But I hear your side of it. I do apologize for how I made you feel. And Bea appreciates that. She also, I feel like, low-key overstepped and says that Kenzie should have first dibs at talking to the bombshell. I feel like, and I may be in the minority, I feel like it was not Bea's place. Like, maybe she was coming from a good place when she said that. But I feel like you should not be speaking for all the girls by saying that Kenzie should have first dibs on the bombshell. Anaya and Trinity debrief, but I guess they said that these girls are having too much fun and looking too good, because before we can really get into that, they have to gather at the fire pit. So Corbin is welcomed into the villa. He is 22. His little intro was kind of funny. The girls were doing a lot when they saw him. That kind of cracked me up because the guys are irritated. Corbin is like, ladies, will you tell them or should I? And then it's revealed that all the girls did kiss Corbin during the challenge. All the guys are flabbergasted. So Corbin basically tells the guys, do you mind if I get a little alone time with your girls? Casey was the only one who hesitated but got up. And I'm like, the way I would have been like, no, for what? You already had alone time with them earlier. No, but no, all the guys got up. I don't know. I feel like if I was one of the girls in the villa, seeing how easily my guy got up to make space for another guy to hold my attention, I'm taking note of that, because clearly our connection is not that deep if you don't mind another guy smiling and kikiing all up in my face. The ladies talk to Corbin. The way that they're all kind of like leaned in toward this man was cracking me up, because he wasn't doing a lot. So Corbin is asking everybody what their type is. Trinity immediately was like, you. I hollered. Trinity really is my favorite. But honestly, this group talk isn't working for me. I feel like nobody can really talk to Corbin and really get any insight into who he is, because it is such a large group, so he's having to like turn his focus. I may also be in the minority with what I'm about to say next, but when Melanie, well, I did not like that Melanie cut him off mid-sentence, but I'm not mad that Melanie was like, Corbin, can I pull you for a chat? And she pulls him first. And some of the other girls are looking annoyed, but they were trying to act like Kenzie can go first. None of them said that though. They had ample opportunity and ample time to be like, Kenzie, why don't you go ahead and take the bombshell first? Melanie saw an opportunity and she took it, because she did say that Corbin was her type on paper. So yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that, but some of the girls sure were. Sincere was too though. He felt like she was doing a lot, and she kind of was. The way that she was like kind of jumping and leaning on him as Corbin was walking in, that was a lot. Melanie and Corbin have a decent chat. I can kind of see it between them. I can. But again, I feel like Corbin doesn't really do a lot. Sincere and Sean go chat about this because Sincere is upset. When Sincere was saying that he went through like all stages of grief, seeing Melanie being all up on Corbin like this and smiling in his face and like this, I was like, oh, not Sincere is really feeling Melanie. Melanie finishes talking to Corbin. She's coming back to the fire pit. You can tell she was ready to like be all excited and talk to the girls about this conversation that she just had. Bea immediately shuts that down. She's like, look, I did not appreciate how you just kind of cut in when you know that Kenzie is vulnerable, and she should have been able to talk to the bombshell first. Like, you should really take accountability for the way that you just acted. Melanie is confused, honestly, but she's like, I didn't mean to do that, but I do apologize for that because it wasn't intentional. I was just very excited to go talk to him. Now, what Bea asked for, Melanie did. She did take accountability for her actions. She did say that she did not realize that's what she was doing, but she is sorry for the way that it rubbed the other girls the wrong way. She did say that. That is what Bea asked her to do. So I feel like Bea was doing a little too much, because when she said, you need to correct your behavior, whoa, now you've lost me, because who are you to talk to me like that? And clearly that's where she lost Melanie, because Melanie, she got up, she started to walk away. She turned back around and was like, really, you doing a lot. You're doing too much. And so then she turns back around. She starts walking away. Anaya eventually gets up to go talk to her. But Melanie's like, give me 10. She's getting upset. And when she's in her confessional talking about how she hates that when she gets very upset, she starts to cry, I am like that as well. So I feel her on that. And I do feel where I can understand where Bea was trying to come from. She was doing too much. It should have ended kind of like it did with Bea's conversation with Kenzie. When Kenzie took accountability and apologized for the way that she made Bea feel because of the way that she moved. I don't understand why Bea let that go. But when Melanie does the same thing, takes accountability for her actions, apologizes for how it made the other girls feel, Bea can't just take that and end it there. Episode 5 picks up where we left off. Anaya and Melanie go talk. I don't like that Sincere didn't go and check on her, but whatever. Trinity was talking to Bea back at the fire pit about how, she can kind of see both sides. I didn't like how Bea was kind of flippant on how Melanie is very sensitive and she doesn't care that she just hurt that girl's feelings. I didn't like that. Sean tells Bryce he's interested in pulling Trinity for a chat, but once again, does he, class? No. Corbin and Kenzie talk. I don't know. I'm not feeling it between these two. Corbin does say that her type, or his type, was her, but the way that he was saying it made it sound like if he talked to Trinity, he would have said the same thing. If he talked to Bea, he would have said the same thing. If he talked to Kata, he would have said the same thing. Like, it was given very much so he leads with the fact that he's attractive and kind of just coasts on that. So he never really has to do much else. But then Kenzie is also saying that her talking to Corbin makes her giddy. And it's like, girl, you just said the same thing about Sean. But then Corbin and Kenzie kiss in Soul Tie. And the way that their kiss was, I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, for him, I was watching it and I was like, breathe, release him. Like, I don't know, when I see other people kiss, like, you can tell it's like a kiss and then they pull back, and then they kiss and then they pull back, but like like they're kissing. When Corbin and Kenzie kissed, I don't know, it was like a long extended peck, and then they pulled away because they remembered that they had to breathe, you know, like it wasn't given like a kiss. Sincere and Melanie talk and hug it out, even though I feel like Sincere was not the person Melanie should have been talking to about this whole bombshell situation, because that's her man. Your man does not want to, you know, in the sense that they're coupled up, but like your man does not want to hear about how the girls are upset with you because you pulled another man to chat. I just feel like that was not the right move. But I did appreciate how Sincere kind of showed up to this conversation and really let her kind of get her feelings out, which is why I wish Melanie would just take a beat, have a little bit of introspection, and realize that Sincere does like her and she likes him, and it's okay to be a little vulnerable and sit with that and admit, yes, I was acting a little wild, but it's because I'm afraid that you are going to see something and you are not going to like me as much anymore. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable, guys. It is. And then whatever your partner does with that is on them, not on you. But at least you put yourself out there so that you can say, I did everything that I could. Kata pulls Corbin for a chat. Again, it's not giving much. It's not. He uses the same line that he used on Kenzie, asking if he can have a kiss, basically. And Kata's like, no. I like Kata. I do. She, like the girls were saying, Kata, come get your baddie chain. I like the fact that she's making these guys work for it, but she's also very clear in like her boundaries, and she knows what it is that she wants out of each interaction, and so she doesn't let it go too far past what she's already decided that she wants. And I like that. I'm not mad at that. Trinity pulls Corbin for a chat. I like how they look together, quite honestly. And I love Trinity's outfits. I do. Every outfit that she has had in this villa so far is a vibe. But anyway, I feel like Trinity asked some really great questions. She's really trying to get to the heart of the matter. But then I also like, because Trinity asked good questions, Corbin could then give good substantial answers. Like, I really like the chat between him and Trinity, and then later I like the chat between him and Anaya, because I feel like Anaya also asked good questions. And I feel like for the first time we were seeing Corbin really kind of engage in the conversation instead of just being like laid back chill boy vibes. I liked that. Sean pulls Trinity for a chat finally, and he was very engaged in that conversation. I like seeing this. I did. I feel like Sean could have flirted a little bit more, but I like that he finally pulled my girl for a chat. Hey, baby step. Trinity did say she wanted to explore him, but she feels a little reserved because of Kenzie. Again, I like this. Give me more of this. So the next day, Corbin gives everybody a little fruit platter. I did like that. I like that he kind of made a little mini breakfast for all of the girls. Bea and Melanie agree to have a chat later on, which I like. Anaya and Kenzie are talking about the fact Kenzie finally has options. And then they talk about how Corbin was basically asking for a kiss from everybody. Kenzie was taken aback, but I'm like, girl, why are you shocked? So Anaya and Kenzie end up talking, and they decide to do a little impromptu yoga class. Anaya leading the yoga class. That was cute. Sean is talking to Bea and Gabe about what he should do, and I hollered, because why are you asking them? I don't know, like, I thought he would ask Sincere, if anybody, who, you know, like what he should do, who he should pursue. But Bea did bring up a good point that like he needs to flirt more. Kenzie and Corbin talk again. Kenzie is asking Corbin about the kiss. Again, I feel like this is a very surface level connection, maybe because it's too new still. I did see a little bit more of a spark between them, but I wanted Kenzie to ask some real questions. Melanie and Bea finally talk about the argument, the discussion that they had yesterday. Is Bea the one that was a Sagittarius? Because it kind of gave Sagittarius a little bit when she said, you know, I apologize for my tone, but I'm not apologizing for what I said. I say that all the time. But I do like that they were able to work out their differences. And then I like the conversation that they had on femininity and how Melanie was kind of able to build up Bea's confidence a little bit more. I feel like this was a very important conversation to show on national TV. I loved this. And I also feel like because they were able to get a little bit more vulnerable with each other, it kind of endeared them to each other again, and so I really like this. Bea and Gabe talk, and I feel like Gabe is only being honest about the fact that he wants to talk to Kenzie because of the conversation that he and Bea had, maybe it was yesterday, about how Bea was a little uncomfortable. Well, she just didn't like how Kenzie and Gabe kind of talked without talking to her about it first. Sincere and Anaya talk. I feel like they're building a really good friendship. I do, but also let me find out that something might end up popping off between these two. I could kind of see it, especially since Anaya did stand behind Sincere's door. I could kind of see it between these two. So I hope that door kind of stays cracked open a little bit. I do. I like Casey and Anaya. I like Sincere and Melanie. But if Sincere and Anaya were to get together, I could also kind of see that. I could. So Anaya encourages Sincere to pull Melanie for a chat. He does. But the way he's talking in the confessional about how he doesn't like how Melanie is moving just kind of reminds me of when he said that there were 8 billion women in the world and only one of him. Or 8 billion people in the world and only one of him. Sincere is giving the pot calling the kettle black. But they do finally talk it all out. And they do end up finally, it seems like, getting on the same page. And I'm happy for them. I hope that they can continue this transparency moving forward. Because a lot of their issues are just miscommunication. Casey pulls Anaya for a chat. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I loved every second of this. I loved every second of this. The way he was complimenting her, the way he was like, when I think of black women, I think of you. Like, you are stunning. You're beautiful every day. I just love to look at you. Like, they do say that they're getting more comfortable with each other. Corbin and Kata talk. I don't feel like there's anything there, so I didn't really take any notes. Kenzie and Corbin talk, again, pretty surface level. I do feel like there was more there between Kenzie and Corbin versus Corbin and Kata. Trinity and Bryce talk. Again, it's giving friendship connection, so But I do like that Bryce is so enthralled by her. I do. I love that Bryce is so obviously enthralled by her because she's talking about how when she grew up, she had different views about herself because she wasn't the standard of beauty in her community, because she is skinnier, and a lot of the people in the place where she grew up, you know, they were expecting you to be a thicker girl, stuff like that. And so Bryce is like, you know, well, you are my type. Like, you have a doll face, you are stunning, you are beautiful. And I like that. I did. I appreciated Bryce in that moment because yes, she is. So Kata gets a text that a recoupling is coming and the boy not picked will be single and vulnerable. The girls are all talking about where some of them are standing. Kenzie isn't sure who she's going to pick. And then Corbin gets a text that he'll be able to pick the girl of his choosing, but he can't tell anybody. So Corbin is going to get to pick first, and then all the girls remaining will get to pick their picks. I just want to do a little side note here. The looks for this recoupling from the girls was stunning. I kind of like the guys' outfits too, but the girls, just my goodness. So Ariana comes in. I liked her look, but I didn't like the outfit because I don't really like that. It's now time for the recoupling. So the boys all get up and stand in front of the fire pit. The girls are going to remain seated. And then Ariana reveals that Corbin actually gets to pick first. So now all the guys are stressed. All the guys are up in their stress because they were like, But Corbin chooses Kenzie, and I hollered because the way Sean was looking upset. Next up is Anaya. She wants to couple up with the guy because she feels it's super easy and she's always giddy, and he gives her reassurance. She picks KC and he is so happy that she did. I do like them. Next up is Melanie. She wants to couple up with this boy because he makes her feel seen and validated. She picks Sincere. I just don't want her to continue to play games with that man. Even though I feel like Sincere is not here to have a long time, I feel like he's here to have a good time. But still, I feel like Melanie, if you do really like this guy, just be upfront and open and honest about liking that guy. Kata is next. She wants to couple up with this boy because he makes her giggle all the time. She picked Zach. Zach was so excited. You can tell he likes that girl bad. Bea goes next. She wants to couple up with this boy because he allows her to feel so soft and feminine, and she hasn't experienced that often. She says a lot of other things, but they were really sweet, guys. I said she is really feeling him. So she picks Gabe and he's very excited, and I was like, wow. So maybe they're having some really great conversations and we're just not seeing that. Trinity is last. The way she had me looking before she stands up had me weak, because I know she was in her head like, gosh darn it, I can't believe it's coming down to me. But I should have known, because earlier in the episode Sean finally pulls Trinity for chat. I should have known it would come down to Trinity picking between Sean and Bryce. In my notes I did say I feel like she should choose Bryce because Sean does not really give us much of anything besides secret kisses and breakfast and like kisses and challenges. Like, I need more of that, and I'm sure the girls are saying the same thing. So she wants to couple up with this boy because she feels like every time they talk there's a spark, and that she feels very comfortable with him. And at first Sean starts to smile and I'm like, oh snap, she about to pick Sean. No ma'am, no ma'am, she picks Bryce. Bryce is giddy, Sean is upset, but you know, we're all cool. We're like, you know, maybe tomorrow. But no, surprise, surprise, because Sean is single, vulnerable, and dumped from the island. Everybody was like, oh, I should have known that somebody was going to get dumped because it was starting to get a little too crowded in them beds in the village, child. So everyone hugs and gives a tearful goodbye. Kenzie feels a little bad, but she does admit that like she wanted to continue to explore Sean, but she was going to pick Corbin tonight regardless. So that was the end of this episode. I can't wait to see what episodes 6 and 7 give us, because we get new bombshells. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye guys.